So here we go. All right. Okay, so tonight I want to talk about fail-proof way to get done what you need to get done in a day. Now, I've been applying this for a few months and it works. So that's why I wanted to share it with you guys. This goes beyond just like time management and motivation. Those will always help you get more done in a day, of course, but this one helps you get done what you really need to get done. Now I'm not saying what you always want to get done, because a lot of times we want to get done a whole lot more than is doable or than what we actually need to. And I'm talking about the necessity, the things that you really need to get done. So one word, maybe it's two words, non-negotiables. So I would like you to write that down. If you have a pen and paper, or if you're taking a note on your phone, let's write that down. Non-negotiables. Because non-negotiables are your key to getting done in a day what you need to get done. Now, like I said, a lot of times we want to get a lot more done than what we actually need to, and there's a difference. We've had, time management part 1 and 2 here in our group training, and that is powerful. So if you're part of this group and you haven't accessed that training, that recording yet, then you definitely should. But tonight we're talking about the keys to getting done what you need to get done on a daily basis. Now, these are not things that change day to day. So it's not like your top 3 cage items that we talked about in previous trainings. This is different than that. Hang on. This way. So this is different than that. Also, the cage training is good too. So, you should look that up if in the portal if you haven't yet either. But so these are non-negotiables that you're going to take to that are going to take you to your goal. John Maxwell says this, and it's so true, and it's a proven fact that you will never change your life until you change something that you do daily. And I would like you to write that down as well. I will never change my life until I change something I do daily. I will never change my life until I change something I do daily. So the only way that we can consistently do something daily is by making it a non-negotiable. And non-negotiable means that it has boundaries set around it. Like everyone knows, don't even try to mess with her non-negotiables. These are things that she just does. So you set boundaries around these things, and for many of you, it's going to be practice and doing something different than what you're used to doing, setting boundaries. But boundaries are important, and this is a great way to start with boundaries. So boundaries set around these things you need to do. These boundaries are for yourself and for other people. And that's the key to making sure that it gets done, is that there's boundaries around these things that are going to move you towards your goals. So you have your non-negotiables, and those non-negotiables have boundaries around them. Now, each one of us has to decide for ourselves what our non-negotiables are. For me, I like to set my non-negotiables as things that are going to move my life forward in many areas. For example, healthy movement is one of my daily non-negotiables. Now, by doing that, our workouts, I, yes, am moving towards and maintaining goals that I have physically, but also mentally, because it's very well proven that exercise is an antidepressant, and it's very, very good for your mental health. So also helping me to maintain my goal of being strong mentally. And then it's also powerful emotionally. To get there, I have to put down my emotions. I'm sure some of you might be able to relate with this, of wanting to stay in bed, or of giving up or giving in to procrastination or laziness. Those early morning exercise sessions help each one of us to also develop emotional self-control. So it's a non-negotiable that moves my life forward physically, mentally, and emotionally. So we're going to start with tonight, what is your top, we're going to do this in regards to your health or your weight loss. And obviously you can apply this to any goal that you have, but since we're here and this is where we're doing it, I'd like to apply it to your top health weight loss goal. So I would like you to write that down. What is your top right now? And it doesn't mean that's not going to change or it's not written in stone. Just right at this time, what is your top health or weight loss goal? I'd like you to write that down. Your top health or weight loss goal right now. Okay, second, as I feel like I preach this all the time, but we need to know it and we need to know it so well, is your deep down why for wanting to get to that goal. So I would like you to write that down, your deep down why. And again, in previous trainings, we've discussed uncovering your deep down why. Again, you can go into the private members portal and access that. If you aren't clear on yours, you know, sometimes it's kind of like peeling the layers off of an onion to get down to that deep down why and figure out what that really is. But for now, just write down what comes to you, your deep down why that you want to be whatever health goal that you have. Okay, now once that's done, this is going to take a little bit more thought, but 3 things that you need to do daily that are going to get you to that goal. Now, obviously, these can't be things that are going to take like an hour each. They need to be things that you can and will do daily. So don't set some big lofty goal and set yourself up for frustration or feeling like a failure. You need to be realistic with these. But what are your 3 non-negotiables that are going to get you going, moving your life every day towards that goal? And I can show you mine. I have mine scheduled in my calendar. And yeah, I'll show you what my calendar looks like. So this was, I don't know, Tuesday, I guess. So Tuesday, I have to show you like this. Hopefully you can see it. But so every day of the week, I will scroll through and you'll see it's the same. First thing's prayer, meditation. Now I have a few. The next one is post, because I have to remind myself and make myself to post on social media. And then workout is the next one. Then if we scroll down, the red is you guys. If we scroll down, then I have time booked for lunch with my hubby, because that's important for us. And then supper with him. And I block that out so that nobody can schedule something in my calendar. And then read and bed is another, read and bed is another non-negotiable. And you would say, well, you have to set a reminder to go to bed. Yes, I do. And so do some of you. Some of you need to put that in your calendar. But because it's important for me to move my life forward, one of the things that I do is I try to read 10 pages of personal development every day, every night. So if I don't go to bed at the right time, that's not going to happen because I'm going to be too tired, and then it's not going to happen, and I'm not protecting the boundary of that non-negotiable. Now, I want to say it's not like you're psycho about this or anything, or that you can't, it doesn't mean just because I have this at 9 o'clock that I can't, go out with friends and stay out till midnight or whatever on the occasion. Trust me, that doesn't happen very often on the occasion. But, generally day after day, this is a non-negotiable, and you can see that like these, no matter what day of my week, it's basically the same. Like I have those in there like every day of the week. So, and I have that scheduled because if it's scheduled, it's way more likely to happen. So your 3 non-negotiables that you're going to do, so you're moving your life forward every day. And, I mean, if you can't think of 3 right now, that's fine. I'm also happy to help you if you need help figuring out some for you. Now, beside each one, I would like you to write what time of day you're going to do it. What time of day are you going to do that? As I showed you in my calendar, first thing is at 5 a.m., then at 5:45, then at 6, like that. So I have mine scheduled out because that's what it takes to make it happen. And yeah, because if it's not in the calendar, it's less likely to happen. And the way I want you to think about this is like as an important appointment. And that's how we hold the boundaries, is this is important and this needs to happen every day, whatever that is for you. And thinking of it as an important appointment that you would keep it if it was for somebody else, probably. If it was an important appointment for somebody else, you would very likely keep that. And you would keep your word to them. Well, how about you? How about you keeping your word to you and holding that boundary so that you're actually doing those things daily that are going to move your life forward? And everything like this, whether it's prayer and meditation, or whether it's working out, or whether it's going to bed at a certain time, or whether it's reading 10 pages of personal development every day. I don't know if you saw that post that I did a while back, probably last week on social media, but it was talking about you go to the gym one day and you're not going to come home and look in the mirror, you're not going to notice the difference. You go to the gym the next day, come home and look in the mirror and you're not going to notice the difference. You work out the next, it's not something, none of these things are huge dramatic things that you're going to notice right away. But these are things like the slight edge where you're just going to do them day after day after day. They're little things that are pretty easy to do, but they're also very easy not to do. And when you do those things, they add up over time and they compound. And pretty soon you look back and you go, oh my, I literally just worked out for, consistently for 10 weeks. Look at my muscle definition. Or, wow, I'm feeling so much more grounded and mentally stable and just healthy in my mindset. Wow, I just, spent 2 months every morning. I spent time in prayer and meditation, that kind of thing. These are little things that add up over time, and you're not going to notice a huge difference. And that's one of the reasons why we have to be mindful to have boundaries around these things, because they're easy not to do, but they're also pretty simple and easy. Okay, the working out part isn't always easy. None of this is always easy, but they're all simple. Okay, let me clarify on that. They're simple to do. And they will compound after time. So I'm hoping that you have written down your big goal now, your why that you want to reach that goal, 3 things that you can do daily to help you get to that goal, and a time beside each one that you're actually going to do those things. And if you have a Google Calendar, or you have a day timer or something, I really, really encourage you to write those down or put them in your calendar, block that time off, and think about it as an important meeting. I'm going to keep this to myself. I'm going to keep my word to myself, and I'm going to do this. And of course, I would love to hold you accountable for that. So if you want to at any time share that, I'm hoping some of you will share tonight your goals and the things that you're going to do to help you move forward. But at any other time as well, if you let me know on our weekly calls, I'm happy to write it down, because if I write it down, then I'm going to check in on you and just help you be accountable for these things that are going to move your life forward, and for keeping the boundary. And boundaries, I'm going to do a whole thing on boundaries, because every woman I know struggles with boundaries. We just do. But having the boundaries at first is much harder, but as we consistently keep the boundaries and consistently show ourselves and others that we're serious about this and we're serious about keeping this boundary, it gets easier and easier and easier. And I'll tell you, it eventually just becomes the person that you are. And even a lot of you have said about exercise that, you know, when you started out, it's like, oh, like I could never do that. I could never get up that early and work out. And now if you happen to miss when you miss it, your day feels off and something seems like it's missing. So it becomes just the person that you are, and you just become that better version of yourself naturally, but it just takes time and consistently holding those boundaries, consistently doing those few little things every day that are going to move you closer to your goal. All right, ladies, I want to hear from everybody. Yeah, I want to hear from everybody. Well, I won't force you to share, but I would really like to hear from you. So I won't call anybody out. I'm just hoping that you'll all share. As far as what's your big goal, or share your big goal, or share, you know, the 3 things that you're going to do every day. That would probably be the best if you could share the 3 things that you're going to do every day and what time you're going to do them, because there's just this group and accountability, and we can support and cheer each other on in that. So who's going to go first?
Elsa?
Yes.
I'll go first.
Okay.
So my non-negotiables are, I have 1 I need to work on, but I have 3 that I'm pretty good at. So yoga and meditate in the morning, 5 a.m. And I exercise by noon, and your recordings. And I read every evening. I try to get 50 pages in every evening to keep my brain functioning and vocabulary good for it. My 1 that I need to work on is getting to bed at a decent. I'm try to be in bed by 10, but mostly not ever does it happen.
Did you say 50, Paula?
Yeah, 50 pages in an evening.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, I try to.
You do have to get to bed at a decent time if you're going to read that much.
Yes, that's what I do. I end up reading in the evening, and then sometimes it's such a darn good book that you stay and you keep reading. Pretty soon you look at the clock and it's like 11, and I got to get up early.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I probably get enough sleep in a night, but yeah, but the rest is I'm pretty consistent with. So
you are very consistent. Yes, you are. Thank you for sharing, Paula.
yeah, you're welcome.
Who's next?
I'll go. So I have a goal. I have a goal, but it's going to help me get to my big goal. So do I stay with my little goal first?
Yeah, I think so. Because those 3 things that you're doing are going to also help you you're going to keep doing those 3 things probably, right? To get you to your big goal?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So my goal is to get to 180 pounds. My bigger goal above that is to hike 29029, which is you hike a mountain 13 times, so you Everest. If you just Google 29029. I like to cause myself some pain. Anyhow, the 3 things that I would do daily is, and I'm pretty good at already on this one, is bedtime at 9:30. And even my husband knows that's a non-negotiable. But I'm not a reader, but I've been thinking about reading like some personal development books or listening to some podcasts. So really by 9 o'clock, it's my time. And then by 9:30, go to bed. And my waking up at 5:45 to do my 6 a.m. workouts.
Awesome. So good. And yeah, a lot of times if you have someone else in the house, that's where the boundary needs to come in, right? So that they know. So that's good. Good job.
Yeah, even the dog and my son know, like, it's just, leave them alone.
That's good. Who's next?
Oh, dang, I just hit the unmute. Well, I'm really struggling with, with the goal. And very much with the deep down why. And I mean, I had started off due to health, right? To try and get feeling better. The food is helping and all that. But the one thing I am consistent of doing that's non-negotiable is my morning workouts, and my Thursdays 7 to 8 o'clock is blocked. That is, I've said no to a few things because this is important to me and I want to learn and develop better skills and ways to make me that I can feel better. And recently I stopped listening to the radio in the morning and I started listening to podcasts, and I was like, how do you do these podcasts? How do you, so I just kind of started typing stuff in. And what I have found is now listening to some of these podcasts are actually hitting home to me on different things with my mindset and with my, I don't know, it's pretty deep. And we were just talking about it on Monday, and it's opening up whole new layers inside of me that I didn't know. So I'm still navigating through it, and I still need help. So I got a few things in process, but I still need help. And I've been, 7 months now? And still discovering new things, but still trying to figure out that deep why.
Yeah. Good. That's good. And that's the great thing about listening to podcasts and teachings and personal development, right? It brings us to that where we face some things or things hit home, and because we can live in denial or be totally unaware and ignorant in our own little bliss thing. But then that's how we can actually become aware of things. And so we can actually make some changes to break through to new levels in our lives. That's good. Yeah. Good job. Who's next?
So my non-negotiables, I'm actually pretty good at them already, but 6 a.m. Prayer and Bible time, and 8 a.m. on the weekends. So I don't negotiate with that. And then I make myself get up and go for a walk at noon, because otherwise I would sit through my lunch break and have very bad back with working. So I get out of the house so I don't answer any emails or anything, or I go to the gym at that time. And if I do my noon walk, then I go to the gym at 4:15 as well. So I just need to do this on the weekends. I need to walk on the weekends. So that's what I need to work on. And then bedtime, 9:30 to 10. I have to do that.
That's
So,
good. Awesome
yeah.
job. And that noon hour walk, a lot of us could get doing that. It's a great time to just get up, get outside, clear your head. It's good for everything. Yes, that's awesome, Stacy. Thank you. Who else?
Well, I'm unmuted too. And some of you have not been seeing me on Tuesdays and Thursday workouts because I am in self-pity mode.
Oh.
I'm thinking I'm too tired. And so now I am coming to you boldly, and I am telling you that you will see me there. Tuesdays and Thursdays, as well as Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So that is in my calendar now. So I'll have another noise thing going off in the morning.
That's good.
So yes, and the prayer meditation means a lot to me, and I don't like being rushed. So when I do it after exercising, I'm kind of rushed. So I'd like to get that in before. So it's written in here for 5:30. So my plan is to get up at 5:15 and get dressed into my exercise clothes, and then read and pray, and then meet you there, and also get into bed by 10, no later.
That's-
I have issues.
Yes,
It's
yes, you
hard
gotta
getting to
protect
bed
that.
before 10 here.
Yes. Yeah, you got to protect that though, right? That's where it starts. It starts the night before. Because if you're going to bed too late, it's going to be really hard to get up that early. So that's great, Mary. And you have a whole community now. Well, I'll be looking for you. Good job, being brave.
And you can text me and you can give me heck too.
Oh, who else?
I'll go. Well, I realize by listening to all you gals, I'm kind of a mess, honestly. I don't have any non-negotiables. I kind of I go with the flow, and I don't set many boundaries. So I need to really work on a lot of things. I think a big thing for me is sleep. That's something I can do, is get to bed a little bit earlier. Honestly, I'm always tired. I have a stressful job, but see, those are all excuses, right? And I know that. So I think if I can at least set boundaries, and everyone knows non-negotiable about at least setting a bedtime, getting to bed, I think that will be good. And then I can get up and feel energized and be there with a smile on my face for 6 a.m. And I will be there tomorrow, I promise. And movement, of course, I'll find time in my day for movement for sure.
That's good. That's good, Janet. Yay. Well, that's good. Yeah, start with the bedtime. That's really good. Awesome. So good. Thank you for sharing. Who else?
I can go. So I have my workout for 6 a.m. And then I also want to try, and I used to go for walks, but now with winter coming, it's a little bit harder with the ice and all that. So I want to kind of plan on maybe jumping on the trampoline, or my son has an Oculus game where I can play a game or do, we're looking at there's some fitness that you can get on there as well. So I'm looking at what other stuff we can buy with that. But just try and, I mean, I work from home, so I don't need a whole hour to eat. So if I can, do something physical for at least a half hour or something. And then my bedtime, that's always been a struggle, but since I've been on this program, I have actually been doing pretty well for most of the nights. So I just, but it does take work to make sure that I am going to bed on time or at a decent time. And then I also want to try and listen to some podcasts or like Marsha, I don't know where, I've tried Googling and I don't know what to listen to or where to go. And so just trying to figure that out and hope to find something good to listen to.
That's good, Christine. Good. Yeah, you've made huge improvements with the bedtime routine. That's good. It's nice you're finally sleeping. It's important.
It sure makes it nice and easy to get up in the morning and go to bed at a decent time. So
Yes, that's good.
So I got some spikes at Costco to go on your shoes so that you can walk on the ice. They were like $10,
Oh,
and I just still give her on the ice. So just saying, If you find those, they're worth getting.
Oh, really? They work well?
Yeah. Yeah, they do. They're just rubber things you put on your boots or whatever. And I walked on the ice today. So yeah.
Okay, thanks, I'll look into that.
Yeah, that's good to know. Well, that's a good price too. So that's good. Important to set a time to your, so to be really specific with it and set a time as to what time you're going to do it. And I will put a post in our group with some recommendations for podcasts or YouTube. And then anybody feel free to add yours in the comments on that same post. And then we can just share lots of different suggestions there because there's tons. So yeah. Who's next?
I'll go. Of course, exercise is at 6 a.m. and try to get to bed by 9:30. Before I do that, I make sure I have my coconut water and my clothes laid out. Everything I'm gonna need for the morning. Everything's ready. And usually just read before bed. It's not easy going to bed at 9:30. I feel like, I'd like to stay up till 11ish or something and be an adult, but I can't do it if I'm getting up at 5:30. So yeah, that's something you have to really get into the practice.
Yeah, that's good, Barb. And setting a reminder, I forget most nights. I forget, and then my reminder goes off. I'm oh crap, I gotta go to bed. I get to go to bed. Okay, most of the time it's a nice surprise, but sometimes it's like, oh yeah. So I think it's important to set a reminder or an alarm. It's time to go to bed. Yeah. Who else?
I can go. I was like, I believe you said her name was Karen. I have absolutely no non-negotiables. I fly by the seat of my pants. If my daughters call and they need a babysitter, I run to Camrose. I don't have a bedtime. I'm usually up till at least midnight. But I've jotted down a few things, and one of them is, of course, my exercise with you, because I believe it is non-negotiable, or that's what you told me.
It is. It's non-negotiable.
Exactly. And I like the idea of listening to podcasts, and I have more than a half-hour drive to work every morning, Monday to Friday. So I'm going to look into doing that for my drive to work. And my other thing, which is absolutely the hardest thing, I think, for me, is to make time for Facebook, because I never go on Facebook. I don't see your posts. It's crazy. I feel like I don't have time, but I am going to have to make some time.
That's good. I don't know. I have a hard time telling you to make time for Facebook because it's such a rabbit hole. So I feel like if you don't take time for Facebook, that's okay. Just message me if you want to know, if anything's going on.
Right. Yeah, no, I have never been a Facebook person, and it's very hard actually to get, because there is so much on there.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good, Sherry. Thanks for sharing. And it was Janet. Janet was the one that said she didn't have, but she's got some now, her non-negotiables. Tanya, are you going to share?
I wasn't going to, because
Oh.
I don't have, no, that's okay. I don't have any either of the non-negotiables. Just as listening to everybody and, sharing everyone's very good set ones. I'm thinking, oh, okay, but what if something happens the night before and I can't get up at 6 a.m.? and because I really like sleep too. So all these things are going through my head. But I think what I'm going to work at first is during the day, that lunchtime movement, because yeah, I sit in front of the computer like for about, 75-80% of my day. So that lunchtime one is going to be one that is a priority. I did write it down. And trying to set a bedtime. Yeah, because that's if I'm working on a school assignment, and sometimes I'll be up till 11 o'clock, or yeah, there's just crazy things that happen. So that I think needs to be a priority as well, because then I be able to get up at 6 a.m. a lot better.
It's true.
Yeah, and I'm trying like the top health or weight loss goal right now. I'm struggling with either figuring out like the weight coming off, or the mobility, like the aches and pains, the arthritis, So I want to head in the direction of the body aches and feeling better there. So I think that might be what I put there.
Mhm.
And I'll still work on the deep down why, because I gotta peel that onion.
That's good, Tanya. And you know what? You all have non-negotiables. We all do. Just a lot of times it isn't in regards to our own health or our own wellness. You work for a boss, a lot of you. So it's a non-negotiable. You show up at work at that certain time. You work until that certain time every day, or you put in so many hours, or, we have quite a few non-negotiables a lot of times, but most of the time it doesn't have anything to do with moving ourselves towards our goals. As moms and wives, it's just what we do a lot of times is we give, but then we forget about, if you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to be able to give to anybody else. So good job, Tanya. I like that. That's good. Leslie, are you going to share with us tonight?
Hello.
Hello. We can
I jotted down a few things, but I haven't actually started yet. So I'll just run by you what I wrote down here. I tend to lack in self-discipline. I'm currently home, not working, and it's really hard to schedule your day when you really actually have nowhere you have to be. So I'm going to work on that for sure. And I'm going to work on your program.
Awesome. That's good.
Yeah.
And Leslie is here, and it's like, what, 10 to 10?
Yeah, it's bedtime. Speaking of bedtimes, it's past my bedtime.
It is.
Yeah.
So thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
I think that's everybody, right? I don't think I missed anyone. Lynn is not feeling well, so I don't think she's got the flu. So I don't think she's shared anything tonight.
How much snow do you guys have? I heard
Like
you
this
got-
much. So much.
Seriously?
Yes.
I saw your I don't know what you call them, your little video driving home from Calgary, I guess.
Yep.
And I was, oh my God.
Crazy.
Is that out of the ordinary for this early in the year or not?
Well, not really, but it just came. Hey, ladies, I said it was like winter was like, I got some time to make up. Here you go.
Yeah.
We didn't even get quite a dump on the first time like that, but
Yeah. The first snow is usually mild.
Exactly.
And you guys really got bombarded. So